are huge companies that own those. And it is all going to move forward at a pretty fast rate, and it's very exponential where it's going. Now, I've interjected a couple of videos in this presentation, and the reason I've done that, I want you all to kind of actually see somebody really using this. They're all very short. This one's about 30 some seconds. It's an Amazon video. At the end of it is a little ad there, so just ignore that. But it's cute what they do, and it kind of gives you the perspective of somebody actually using this. I don't hear the volume in here.
Okay, pause. Yeah, we have. Check your speaker again.
Muted it over here if that makes a difference.
No, that should be. I think it's a selection of microphones, so we're taking a look. Okay. I'm just reducing it from full screen. No.
You want to do that? You escaped it.
Oh, I thought I did it.
That's not going to give us feedback.
We're gonna find out.
Here's the it's feedback.
Yeah, okay.
What do you want?
While you play it, I'll just shut off the microphone.
Okay.
Little trouble. Because of the sound setup.
At 6 p.m. Okay, I'll set a reminder. Alexa, play the song that goes Valerie. That's on time.
So what you just saw there was a real simple use of it.
And David, turn your microphone. Turn your microphone back on. Oh, the physical mic.
So what you saw there was a son setting this up.
Trying to think. Okay, you have to reduce. Oh, here, I'll do it.
So what you saw here, what you saw there was a son helping his father set up Alexa to do some things. He had told Alexa, if you heard that, at 6 o'clock, give him a reminder that he had a dessert in the refrigerator. So Alexa at 6 o'clock at night would announce to the father that, hey, you got a dessert in the refrigerator. And then the father turned and said, play this song for me that he liked. So Alexa started playing. You saw the father's opinion, but it was very different. But these are the things that you can do, examples, very simply. They're really not complicated. So in understanding now what Alexa is, it's not a person. This is a virtual computer generated assistance. It's all automated. It's all computerized. It's again out in the cloud, and it is working with each of the users. A lot of people ask me, because it's listening to me saying these what they call wake words, is it listening all the time to all my conversations? And the answer is no, it's not. It's only listening for wake words, because that's a privacy thing. And people ask me, how do I know that? Well, but Amazon has a huge document, a privacy policy, and a whole thing outlining all of this. Like I said, I've been using it since 2015, and I am not worried about it at all. But what wakes it up are the wake words. It's also, I mentioned here about the privacy. There is a whole privacy policy behind this. You ask Alexa the questions, and it goes out, looks in the cloud, sees what the answer should be, and will give you an answer based on its best decision on what it picked up. So again, it's all working with artificial intelligence. You can interact. It looks at, when you ask a question, what's the weather? It actually goes out and looks at the typical weather service, what it is for your area, and it will come back and tell you. And I'm going to actually show you while I'm here today. I'm going to ask Alexa some questions. You can all hear how she answers me. But literally, you can do thousands of things on this. How can Alexa help you day to day? And I think they all have this in your hand out of the room here. Monitor your health and wellness. Now, people here, what does that mean? Well, I can actually have, through various configurations or routines, and also some of the tools it makes, where it can actually monitor you and look at what you're doing, look at whether you've taken your medication, whether you've gotten up out of your chair, you've moved, whatever. And it is amazing. And it's done with a lot of third-party implementation and applications. And a lot of it is also built into Alexa. And I'm going to come back more on that a little bit. Keep you safe 24 hours a day. And I'm going to show you some tools set up for that, things that you can have as alarm systems, or some other specific devices they make that will help do this. It can also provide care for a relative. There's actually applications been written that if you had a senior person or somebody that needed to be watched after, that this system can actually watch it. And Alexa and Amazon has actually come up with an entire package to do this, and individual things. You can alert family members and caregivers if somebody needs help. It'll actually tell them, hey, you need to check on Mary or Sam or whatever, and it will do that for you. Help provide companionship. And I'm going to show you some ways it does that. If somebody doesn't have a lot of people around, things it can do to do that. Make calls to contacts. It can call people for you. And you're going to see in a later video here where a lady really has trouble with moving her hands, and she really struggled making phone calls. And now through Alexa can call anybody she wants. And I'll show you an example of that more. Entertainment, games, movies, trivia, it goes on and on and on. And there's thousands of things you can play directly with Alexa. Even watch movies if you want to watch, because Amazon has Prime and a couple of different things. So these are all available to you through this. Keep up to date with general and tailored news and views. And what I mean by that is, when I says tailored, I can say to it, I want you to tell me the news from news of CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC, or some other source and I want to know what news is going on today. And you can have it do it in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, whatever. Or if you have some specific things you want to just learn about, you can say, tell me today what's going on with the war in Ukraine. And it'll help provide that to you. Real-time weather alerts. I can actually have Alexa say to Alexa, alert me every time there's a severe weather alert where I live. And it will give me an alert, says you've got a storm coming or whatever. I do it at home. I get it hours before it happens, sometimes minutes, depending on what it is. But you can get those, and I can get the weather anytime I want. I can access the delivery service, food, transportation. All of that I can do through Alexa. I can set up things, reminders, make appointments, all of that. Educational options. I can get in there and learn about things. If I want to learn about a specific subject matter, I can say, Alexa, tell me about this or teach me about this. And Alexa can help you do that. Set timers and alarms. I mentioned that earlier. You can set an alarm to go off at 4 a.m. Actually, I do that. I don't have an alarm clock anymore. I use Alexa for everything. I turn the volume up because because I travel a lot. If I'm going to go traveling something and I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning, I have Alexa set off this ungodly alarm to wake me up to make sure I don't miss my flight. So it's pretty cool. It'll answer questions. I can ask it questions. I can ask it about something. If I want to know what's the capital of Israel or capital of China, it'll tell me. On and on and on. I can control smart home devices. And again, I'm going to show you that. We're going to talk to my home while I'm up here in a few minutes, in a little bit. I'll actually ask it to do a couple of things and you can actually hear it, what it's doing. I can intercom in my home. And as I told you, I have Alexa in every room. So I could actually be in one room, make a comment, and it'd be heard all out through my whole house. So it's like an intercom system. And I can actually have communications with somebody in another room. I can play sleep music or ambient music if I want something just kind of a soothing background. And one of the videos I'm going to show you here shortly, they're actually doing that. And you can see them, how they set that up. You can control your TV and your AV system. A lot of these new TVs out there today all have the ability to interact with Alexa. So I can actually control that and run them wirelessly and have it set up and watch channels, do things through YouTube or whatever. I can do that. And I can play all types of music. I'm going to show you another video of that happening. It's really cute. But that's kind of an example of the things day to day it can do for you, and much, much more. Now, here's another video I want to show you. This one's about a minute and a half, I think. That it's an example of somebody that ran across Alexa that had a mother that struggled to do a lot of things. And he ended up setting it up for her and then got involved with doing this nationwide. I'm going to put it. Yeah.
What's going to happen is while you're showing it, I'm turning on the volume of turning up the volume of the TV. You'll turn off your microphone.
I did.
So your mic is off.
I got it.
Well, before you were even married.
After getting my 89-year-old mother set up with Alexa, I realized it could help a lot of aging people in a similar way. Hi, my name is Matt. This is my mom, Arlene. This is a story about how Alexa can help seniors connect to the outside world. I am one of 4 boys, and I'm the youngest. We don't really call each other and have long conversations, but we will call our mom and get all the updates about what each other are doing.
I love being the one that they came to.
So at some point, we all started to text each other. Smartphones came out.
I don't text at all. The one thing I don't see well, so I can text. For a while there, I sort of felt left out.
I was working in a hospital setting and they were working with Alexa to communicate with people without having to use their hands. And it was just an epiphany to me that this would be perfect for my mom.
Thank you, Maggie. I'm just thinking about you. Bye. Talking to Alexa and having my children and my grandchildren talk back. It's a big part of my day.
And then I realized that my mom was using Alexa so much and enjoying it that a lot of other people her age would too.
Well, I'm Jillian, this is Matt.
I met Jillian and really just like this people, and we took this idea that's helping my mother so much to senior living across the country. Hey, Willa. We're here to help.
Another really cool thing you can do with Alexa is you can turn on and turn off your lights.
The lights.
Yes.
Do you know how to ask for the score of the game yesterday?
No, I never thought about that.
Yeah, Alexa, so we want the Oakland A's games.
The Oakland Athletics lost in the middle of the week of 9-5.
We haven't been physically able to use a phone, and now all of a sudden they can make a phone call. We've had people literally cry when they hear the person on the other end. It's a life-changing moment, and the gratification for us is off the charts. Doesn't seem that long ago.
Well.
Okay, so I want to go a little bit now about using Alexa for setting reminders. I got it back on. Setting reminders and alarms, because there's a lot of different ones, and I just want to give you actually how it works. A specific one. You can do a recurring, personal, by location, and follow-up reminders. So recurring is, well, I'll tell you what we have in our house. On every Wednesday, because I live in where the alternating days for, well, everybody has Wednesday, it reminds us to put out our cardboard and our paper for recycling. And on Mondays and Thursdays, it reminds us to put out our plastic, the glass, and the aluminum and our regular trash. So I get a notice early in the morning, those days, take it out. So we're busy with something else and we forget. Simple, but it works great. And then I can do a personal reminder. It says, remind me that I need to pick up Mary at 4 o'clock today. And say, remind me at 3 to do that. Remind me to take my medications every day. I can get a notice and I can cause it to reoccur every day. And remind me to call my friend Mary every Saturday if I want. And then I can do personal, remind me to schedule a doctor's appointment. haven't done it yet, but I need to have, it came into my mind, I'm in my house. I don't have to go write something down. I don't have to go looking for a piece of paper. I literally speak and I say, Alexa, remind me to make a doctor's appointment. It'll come back and say, when would you like the reminder? And you just say 4 o'clock today, or now, or an hour, or whatever, and it'll do that. Remind me to water the garden every day at 7:30. Feed the dog at 7 o'clock. Now, I don't usually forget that. My wife sometimes does. She gets tied up with other things. Not that she's not forgetful, but it happens. So it kind of reminds us to do these things. And then I can tell Alexa to set a clock alarm for 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And at 6 a.m. that alarm will go off. I can ask Alexa, what are my reminders? If I don't remember what they are, I can say, Alexa, what are my reminders? And it'll go through and tell me every one of them. And I say, Alexa, what are my Friday reminders? I woke up Friday morning. I want to know right away, what are my reminders for today? Give them to me now so I can kind of maybe plan around that. So it really becomes very dimensional and very flexible on how you can interact with this thing and do things that you might have done different ways before, like writing something down or pinning something up on the board or telling somebody, remind me to do this. It will do that for you. Okay, personal routines. These are where you're going to go ahead and set up things specifically. Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally grabbed the same one. All right, this is another video where it is routines. This one is a young couple. I just set it up with that actually uses to do a whole bunch of things. I hope you're all okay with it. It's younger generation doing something. But at least it gives you an idea of the different things.
Like when I walk in the door with my hands full, I tell Alexa, turn on the lights and start my chill out playlist by saying, Alexa, create a custom morning routine with Alexa. She can help you start the day. This is my morning routine to turn on the lights. We go out there and give me this. Are you ready to wake up?
Routine is basically what they do. It makes when I am alone. When I get home, Alexa turns up the thermostat and tells me a joke before I even put down my bag.
Welcome home, everyone. Byron's favorite letter. You might think it's R, but his favorite one is the C.
Well, sweet home.
Can't go to sleep. Set a sleep routine with Alexa and she has some things. I just let Alexa know I'm ready for bed with a voice. When I'm ready to say my sleep routine, dim the lights and play sleep sounds for an hour before I go to sleep. Alexa, activate hibernation. It's a routine, but you can enable it once. Have many good routines, then check out the future tab. Go ahead, open the Alexa app and create the routine that's best for you. Want to learn more? Just say, Alexa, what can you do?
Okay, so Alexa also can help us with things like with entertainment. If I wanted to listen to a songs from an era, and let's say my favorite era was 1960s, I can say, Alexa, play me songs from the 1960s, and it will play me songs randomly from the 1960s. I can ask for a specific group. I can ask for a specific song, whatever. And it really, really is cool in the way that maybe there's a mood that you want to set for yourself that night. Maybe you want to bring back some memories or something. So you can actually do that. So you can set up a standard routine like this lady does, that she listens to music when she walks in. It does something for her. So you have those options. You can have Alexa set up your TV. You can actually have your TV integrate with Alexa and it do things for you, which really is very cool. Turn things on, turn a certain channel on, record something for you. Again, it's just asking it. Listen to a radio station. If you have a radio station you like to listen to, you can do that. Have Alexa set up your Bose speaker. And I haven't had Bose speakers, but I can actually connect it to it. And why I mentioned a specific third-party company like that is they so many of them now are beginning to integrate their products into Alexa. You hear it in cars now. You see it being put in cars. You see it put in TVs, all kinds of equipment. Literally tens of thousands of them are allowing the software that Alexa uses to be part of that product. And then I can listen to a specific song by name, as I said. So if I wanted to hear the Beach Boys, Kokomo, that was a song I really liked from years ago, you could do that. And the list goes on. It's on and on and on, which you can do it to help with your entertainment. And I'm going to show you some ways you can look at some of the things you can do through Amazon itself on their website and the tools that they have. And the other vendors that make it, Google and Apple, they're going to be very similar. So now let's see it in action. I'm going to show you one. I think this is the cutest video of all the ones I have there of Alexa. Oh, sorry. I
just have to.
Yeah,
it'd be like the
you gotta change the volume here for a second. Sorry, folks. But I want you to watch this video and particularly the end of it, you can see where Alexa kicks in, but it's really cute.
I don't know if this is about you. Okay.
So he asked Alexa, he's doing something, he said, can you do this for me right now? Very, we've been off the cuff plan, whatever, but he asked it to play that specific song. Okay. There's many day-to-day items that it can do, and I'm gonna bring out my Alexa. Now, my Alexa could be one of these called an Echo. This is actually an Alexa device. And this is called Alexa's Show. which is actually a screen where I can actually talk to somebody and see them or watch movies or videos or have it give me my weather displayed. But what I want to do now, I've actually got Alexa installed on my cell phone. It's an app that I can go ahead and use it the same as I use those for a lot of things. And I also can customize things on Alexa right here. I can also do it on my computer, but I do it right here. So it's on my cell phone and I have it as an app called Amazon Alexa. And I pull it up and then I can go ahead and actually do things with it. Now, I'm going to turn it up and hopefully everybody at the other end can hear me. I have it up as loud as I can get it. I'm going to go ahead and ask it some commands based on what's going to pop up on the screen here. And I'm going to say, Alexa, what's the weather?
Currently, in Rossmoor it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect thunderstorms with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 68 degrees.
How simple it was. I just simply asked it the question. And this is the Alexa that's tied into my house. That's all there and everything's related to when it says, you'll see it say things about Rossmoor or Leisure World. It'll bring that up. Now I'm getting ready to go to Europe here in about a month, and Hamburg's where I'm flying into. So I'm getting ready to get on the plane and I want to know, what time is it there? Alexa, what time is it at
1 p.m.
That's here. Alexa, what time is it in Hamburg, Germany?
In Hamburg, it's 7:41 p.m.
So again, it's just simple questions. Alexa, turn on severe weather alerts.
Okay, I'll notify you when there is a weather alert for Leisure World. To turn this off, ask me to cancel severe weather alerts.
Alexa, what are the business hours for Giant Food in Leisure World Shopping Center?
Avalon Nail and Hair Spa,
My voice,
International
sorry.
Drive Leisure World Shopping Center behind Giant Leisure World Plaza Shopping Center in Silver Spring is open today from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I muddled my words. So you can see you got to be very careful what you say because that's what it hears. Now, this is kind of fun. My wife is half Icelandic, and I'm going to ask it a sentence in English and tell me to tell it what it is in Icelandic. Alexa, how do you say I love to travel in Icelandic?
I love to travel in Icelandic is Ég elska að ferðast.
So here's the beauty of it, if you are hearing something in a language or another, whatever, you can actually put it up there or have somebody say it and it will repeat it back for you. You can translate English to another language. Icelandic happens to be one of them that it picks up. Okay, now I'm going to travel somewhere and I'm planning it. I have no idea. So I'm going to go to Ocean City, Maryland. Alexa, how many miles is it to Ocean City, Maryland?
Ocean City is 153.1 miles away by car.
So now I got an idea and it knew from my location here. I didn't have to say from where because it says from home. And by the way, it will sense me if I'm somewhere else. It can sense that I'm there and tell me from there. But I want to give you just examples. Alexa, what's the deepest lake in the United States? Alexa, what's the deepest lake in the United States?
The deepest lake in the United States is the Crater Lake, which is 1,949 feet deep at its deepest point.
Okay, so I just want to give you the gist. These are types of things you can do, but just think about whatever question you might ask anybody or anything, ask it. And you might be surprised at the answers you get. I can tell it to turn up the volume on my machine. I can tell it to turn it down. I can lots and lots of options I have there. But these are day-to-day things I can do. I can set a timer that says, Alexa, I can set a timer for 1 minute, 5 minutes, and then I can tell it to cancel it. Remind me to take my medication at a certain time. Okay, now different types of Amazon devices, and this is where a lot of people, when I talk to them, get a little confused. While I didn't buy this from Amazon, but I'm using it with Alexa, That's my cell phone, and it's just simply the fact that there's an app that Amazon developed to work with my Android. They have it for Apple, the OSI or OSO, yeah, the system, iOS, whatever. You can tell I'm an Android person. But these are all the different devices. They have Echo devices. These are actually called Echo devices. The original one was one that was like this, except it was really tall. They have built-in speakers. I can't do it here because these are attached to a different network, so I can't let you hear them here. That's why I'm doing this. But they make those, they make the show, and they have a bunch of other. They have one for children. They have some that are very specific with external speakers and all kinds of things, but you can see those on the Amazon website. They have smart speakers, which are kind of external speakers that can hook all to this. TVs, and they have something called Fire TV, which is like this. It has a box, a little thing with it, a remote, that you can use your TV completely as I'm using this and work with your TV, assuming it has a camera and a microphone with it. Digital media players, these have gotten really popular. People having external players to work with it. Mobile devices, my cell phone. Computers, desktops, tablets, laptops, all of that can work with it. Wearable devices, they even have now, Alexa came up with a pair of glasses you can wear that actually has the microphone and the interaction into the system. You can actually communicate through your glasses. I'm not sure I would do that yet, but they have it. And then Alexa Mobile, a lot of audio manufacturers are now integrating Alexa into the cars and allowing you to do things through your car, which is pretty cool. But they're constantly adding to this, but that is all there. So these are, again, samples. That's this device here. Then they make one that's like a sphere. That's a new one. It's a newer generation of this, clock built in, but it works very similar to that. It has the buttons and volume buttons you can set on the top if you want, or you can do it directly. And there's a little sample of some of them. And then that's this, another generation. This is an older generation. The picture's a little bit newer. And then the Fire TV, which is just simply this thing that plugs into your TV and a remote control there in the middle. Now, here comes the fun stuff. Did you say there's a robot from Amazon, Alexa? The answer is yes. Amazon has now come out with a robot. And I'm going to show you a little quick video on this. It is the coolest thing. It can watch your house for you. You can be somewhere else. Let me give you an example that I think is just the coolest thing. Suppose you've been cooking all day and you left and you went somewhere and you go, did I turn that stove off or not? I can communicate with my robot. The robot will drive over to my stove. It has a camera that lifts up. I can have it focus on it and look to see whether I've turned my stove off or not. I can have that robot look at my house. If it detects somebody or sees a face it doesn't recognize, it can send me an alarm. Somebody's there that shouldn't be there. But the list goes on and on and on. It can even take care of your dog for you, do things for it. And I'll show you that in a minute. But it is the coolest thing. So here's a little quick video of Astro. They named it Astro. Like you, if y'all remember the Jetsons, they had Astro. Well, they named this one Astro too. So this one here is kind of looking after the dog.
Open up the sun.
So Astro's been out about a year, a little over a year, and it's just now starting to become where anybody could buy it. It used to be limited for people to test it. And
David, you might.
oh, sorry. We're limited for people to test it, and now they can you can order it, but it takes a little bit to get it. But I would not suggest somebody do that unless you got a plan for it. They're like $1,600 for one. But if you had somebody that needed care, that you couldn't be there with them all the time, the things that this thing can do for you to watch after them while you're not there, it's mind-boggling. And alerts that it can give you and alarms, it's very cool. But this is where we as a society are headed. This isn't a game or a toy or something a once off. It will become mainstay for us over the next few years. But this is their beginning. There are other ones out there, other manufacturers, but Amazon really thought through this one. It doesn't walk and talk. It has wheels, it moves, doesn't go up and down steps. But the things that it can look at and do, and there's in fact, if you go to Amazon or go to YouTube and type Amazon Astro, they got some cool videos showing some really specific things it's doing. So it's a device, it's on wheels, does a lot of things. It has advanced navigation. It can remember its way around your house. It can patrol your house if you wanted it to go from room to room. It can see if your doors are locked, all kinds of things, just on and on and on of what it can do. But I mention it because this is something that I think you're going to see more and more of it. Can do entertainment, calls, messages, timers, alarms, reminders, just like the other one does, but it can do it for you. And here's the beauty of it is, I wouldn't have to necessarily have an Amazon, one of these in every room that I could hear. I could have a single Amazon Astro, and when it has a reminder to remind me, it'll come find me where I'm at in the house. Because why? It drives around and it's facial recognition. It'll recognize me, come and say, oh, by the way, you need to take your medication at 6 o'clock today, or you need to do X, Y, Z. Check rooms, things, you can see that, unrecognized persons. It can set off an alarm if it sees somebody that it doesn't like, an internal alarm and also a separate alarm, even call the police for you. It's very cool. And it's really beginning to be heavily used for care of seniors. There's a lot of organizations, a lot of hospitals and communities that are starting to use this to help people and help them with reminders and managing shopping lists and all that stuff. So, but however, some of these features, in addition to the robot, are additional costs. So you got to take that into consideration. All right, some examples of Amazon solutions. And I'm mentioning these now. These are not necessarily specific for a person or a family, but for groups. Amazon has something called smart properties. And I mention this because it may be something that Leisure World might look at some point. It has the ability to use Alexa to do things for a community, to manage things, announcements. Say everybody had, let me give an example. Suppose everybody had one of these in their home, which is a camera and a voice. The community could send out an announcement with a video and all right there for you. You could see what's going on. You could look at announcements. You can look at videos, emergency broadcasts, things that are going on. All of it done through Alexa and controlled, and it can monitor who actually read something, who saw something. But it's just a food for thought. But there are huge applications where this could be used. The other one is Alexa Vision. I know Bobby Bobo, I think, is on there. I'm not sure who else this might apply to, but they've come up with these tools to help people that have difficulty with vision that will allow them to read aloud on the screen. It will read it for you. A screen magnifier, it will magnify the screen for you. And this is done through voice commands and all. Color correction, it modifies to help people with blindness. Shows and tells identities of what you're holding. They actually have something. I could take this, hold it up in front of the screen, and it'll come back and tell me what it is. I don't say a word. What is it? And now it has a ton of stuff done already. It's a work in progress. But for a lot of your common stuff, it's there. So if they can't see and they don't know what they're holding, I may have this microphone and I can hold it up and it'll say you're holding a microphone. And it may be able to take you down to the model. And then image enhancer makes images easier to read. Again, these are tools, a lot of it through artificial intelligence to allow you to enhance the stuff. Smart home skills. This is where I really put Alexa to use in our house. Is I do have a smart home. I have my door lock, my air conditioning HVAC system. I have cameras. I have outlets, all controlled by Alexa. And I'm gonna talk to my house right now. I'm gonna show you. This is cool. I love this stuff, by the way. So I'm gonna now tell Alexa to lock my front door. Alexa, lock the front door.
Locking, hang on. The front door lock is locked.
So I just literally locked my front door. Now I have a smart lock that talks to Alexa. So I'm gonna do one more thing. Alexa, turn the temperature to 75 degrees in the house.
Side house east doesn't support that.
Oops. Alexa, set the thermostat to 75 degrees.
The AC is set to 75.
So I just changed the temperature in my house. Now my thermostat's smart enough. It learns, and if the temperature is a certain temperature outside, it can adjust itself. But say I really want to save some energy, I can do it up and down, move it up and down. I have cameras. I can pull up my cameras and look at those and see what's there. It sends me an alarm if the deer show up at 4 o'clock in the morning eating my plants. I can see that. But it's things you can do. But this to me just really raises the whole thing to another bar, where I'm now controlling the things that are important to me. Simply, I don't have to remember. I have to go somewhere, drive somewhere. I'm holding it right in my hand to do literally thousands of things that I might have to do manually or some other way differently. So it's things to consider, but I can control appliances. There are devices that you can hook up to your coffee maker or to your oven or whatever. And now some of the manufacturers actually built Alexa into these appliances. Others, you use an external device that will control, like a coffee maker. I can have it turn my coffee maker on at a certain time, turn it off at a certain time if I forget. Now, some of them turn themselves off automatically. Lights, I can do cameras. All of these things can be done through these skills. Now, they make them third party. Some of them are built into Alexa. Some of them are third party. I actually have a combination, some third party, some built into Alexa, but it's great. And I've had it for several years now. I really like it. And many manufacturers, hundreds and actually thousands of them, are now beginning to integrate Alexa into their products and to a lot of the services they do. All right, now comes the $1,000 question. How do you get set up with Alexa? How do you do this? So it's just like anything else. Don't make this so overly complicated and try to do necessarily what I've done with mine all at one time. Make it simple. Say, okay, I want to try this. This device right here, I can actually go and buy it for around $25. I may even find it cheaper on a reconditioned one or something. And then because Leisure World now has set us up to all have internet access, we all have the ability to have this in our house. This or Siri or Google's, whatever, you could put them all in your house. But you hook that up and then begin trying some of the simple things that it can do. Like maybe set yourself alarms, do some things with it, and you gradually get used to it. It's a conditioning. And you start building it and building. And that's exactly what I did. I kept building on this thing. Sometimes we set our phone down and I don't remember where it is. And I say, Alexa, find my phone, and it rings my phone for me. And it goes, finds it. It's very cool. So decide what you want to do first. Don't just run into this and just say, oh, let me just go buy the most expensive thing or whatever. Just keep it simple, even if you don't get the video, because those are a little more expensive, $100 some for some of those. And then again, keep it simple, one device, and play with it. That's what I was just saying. Devices are available from Amazon. They sell them directly, or you can get refurbished ones from Amazon. They've got them, just go to Amazon website and say Alexa, and it'll come up and give you those. Some retail stores carry them now too. You can get them from there, and they're either online or in store. And then hooking up your Comcast internet connection. It is relatively, and I say this because I do this stuff all the time, it is really relatively simple. They give you very good instructions on how to do it. If you don't know how, you can come to the center and ask if somebody's there that can help you. If I'm there, I'm more than happy.
No, a suggestion, when you get a second device, it learns from the first device what the Wi-Fi is
Yes.
in your home. So you don't have to give it the password a second
Correct.
time.
Correct.
Do you
The one-
want to use the same Wi-Fi? Yes, it's done.
Yes, it's gotten so simple. I remember the first time I hooked it up, it wasn't so simple. It took me a little bit of time to figure it out, but now I get a device and hook it up. It's 2-3 minutes, I'm done. I'm up and running. And if you need help, Amazon has incredible detailed support from their online site and chat and all that you can get to make it pretty simple to hook it up and use it. But again, decide what you want to do. Maybe that you just have some simple things that you just every day, it's just kind of a hassle, maybe to remember or do or whatever, and let it learn and do that for you. And then have fun with it. All right, closing comments. And I've got a question answer here for you. I hope this has been informative today. I want to keep it simple. Sorry for the AV problem or the sound problems, but we'll get that. I can make my presentation available if somebody wanted it. Just let me know before you leave and give me your email address and I'll send it to you. I'll send it as a print. Some of you could print out so you can see all these. If you want it, I can show you the presentation, but and I built it that it doesn't require PowerPoint, excuse me, PowerPoint to do it. So, and then what I'd like to do is just a quick one for everybody, that I'm with the Technology Center here. I've actually been with them since 2016. I was the president for a while. This gentleman's now the president. I'm the vice president. But it's right down the hall over here if you've never been to it. That we're really stepping up to do a lot of training and classes. We've got a lot of stuff in the works. We're also enhancing the room quite a bit. We've got a couple of Alexas in there you can actually go in and talk to and all, and try. We've got even a Fire TV in there you can play with. But I just wanted to mention a little bit about that. So with that said, I will now take questions. I'm going to ask you a couple of things. Only ask me one question at a time. I've had sometimes people ask me 5-6 questions and it ends up being long. I want to give as many people a chance, both on Zoom and here, to ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer them. I don't want to get very complicated, technical.
Okay, for people on Zoom, please raise your hand and I'll work on getting you unmuted.
Any questions in here? Yes.
Wait, here.
Wanted to make an airline reservation to fly to Florida or something. Could I ask Alexa to do that?
It all depends on the airline and the services that they have. Not all of them will do it. Now, can I see what the schedule is and can I look at all that? Yes.
Okay, schedule.
So like I can ask Alexa, what time is flight number blah 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 from such and such an airline landing today? But it's not that to that degree yet that I know of. I don't know of any yet, but I've never actually tried it, but I've never seen
Maybe
it.
the robot could do it.
Well, maybe, but you need a lot of them. They'd have to create the interface with an application, be it Siri or Alexa, to be able to do that. But you could get information about the flights and all, remind you about them and all, like because you can track somebody if they're in an airplane when their plane landed or all that. You could do all those types of things. That's pretty cool. I hope I answered your question. Any other questions?
Hang on a second. We have Lee, and I don't know that we'll be able to hear you. So let's.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Hi, Dave. It's Lee Jones. Can I get a copy of the handouts that you had, or whatever you? Can you send me an email?
Lee, can you hear me, Lee?
Yeah,
Can you ask
very
the
well.
question?
Yes.
Maybe he
I
could
don't
type it in
understand.
chat
Can you hear me?
if he can't.
What was that?
We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can he type it?
I think he is.
All right, let him, while he's typing, I'll ask, anybody else have a question in here? Yes,
So if I get an echo show for my grandson, who's 2 years old, what can I do for him?
lots of things. You could set that thing up for him that he could store and have him remember what your phone numbers are. Or watch games. Yeah, you could say, set up a routine for him that it's 8 o'clock at night. Say he goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night. You could set up a routine that may tell him a bedtime story. That may let him listen to something or watch something. Maybe want 5 minutes for him to watch a cartoon or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out things. You could set up all of these things to let him do those types of things. And by the way, Amazon has tailored some of these things specifically to kids. Like they have some of these that actually have little faces on them and they do different things. They have some routines specifically for kids. So
Is it safe?
yes, it is. And they tailor it towards kids to where it's things that are not something you'd want a child to watch. So yes, like YouTube has done that, even though it's not a guarantee, YouTube has a kids channel. It's in fact, how you put stuff out there, it's very strict.
Lee's question was, can you get a copy of the handouts?
Yes,
Lee, we have printed ones, so if you can come to the Technology Resource Center, we'll have it there, or we'll email it to you, your choice. And just contact Leisure World Tech which way you want to pick it up.
any other questions from thoughts? Yes,
I'm thinking, this is great as we get older and blah, 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 but remember the days when you had to remember a telephone number? And now, like nobody knows
I don't.
telephone numbers or anything. So I'm wondering, in certain ways, this is not helping one's memory. You know
well,
what I mean?
it depends on how you want to look at it. There are tools within Alexa that you can use it to do memory games and things like that to learn. And you can set those up as routines at 8 o'clock every morning. Run this routine and let me play games to do memory things. My wife does that. She has these games she plays that help her memorize it. And they're online to do those. So you could do it on the show and all. So you got to look at it both ways. Or you could say, okay, on the phone numbers, you could say store Mary's phone number, but then you could say, what is Mary's phone number? And then I'll have to look it up again because it'll have it for you. You can say, what is Mary's phone number?
Yeah, but I know we used to have to remember that.
Yeah, well, but for those that get to the point where they're struggling with it, now I don't have to remember.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Any other questions? Yes,
Okay, can you play Wordle on it? I do that every day.
play what?
Wordle. Wordle is a New York Times word game, which I play with my kid, which I exchange. He's going to find out.
I don't know. Never heard of the game, so let me find out. That's a great question. You said Wordle.
No, Wordle, WORDLE, and it's a daily game, one game a day.
Alexa, can you play the game Wordle? Alexa, can you play the game Wordle?
Okay, here's word wheel. Welcome to
No,
word
that's
wheel.
word wheel. That's
Begins with A. Taking heed.
Yep, that's fine. No, that's a different game.
so, but
But they have other games.
lots of games. So you can just, the simple way to approach this, whatever question comes in your mind, ask it. Now, I will tell you, they have learned there are some questions you ask Alexa and it will go crazy on its answers. And in fact, if you go look at some of the articles people have written, they actually publish some of these. And there's a couple of questions, they never ask it, this question, but it's very few, but most of them are, I've never had a problem. Like I said, I've been using it now, 7 years? Never had a problem with it. I find it rather humorous. It's really fun. I've made it a fun thing and I've simplified it. And, sometimes remembering something and have it do it for me, because I just get muddled with other stuff. It's wonderful, wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
How does it read a book to you?
I'll show you. I think we've got. I'm just gonna do a general thing, okay? Alexa, read a book to me. Oops. I hit the wrong button, sorry about that. Alexa, read me a book.
Starting the title most recently added to David's library.
This is Audible.
So it's gonna read me this book from Audible.
Brilliance Audio presents When It Never Comes by Barbara Davis. Performed by Shannon McManus.
That's not enough, just to show you. So you can tell it, there's, again, there are some things there's services you need to sign up for, some you don't. That one, because Audible's owned by Amazon, it's the first one it chose. We actually have Audible because some things we
Dear
chose.
Tom, who married me
Oh,
anyway.
stop it now.
We've only shot.
So sometimes you have to say Alexa stop, Alexa quit, or something like that, because she'll just keep on going. Yes, ma'am.
Will it display text while you're?
You can, if you have a show or your screen, you can have it, and that's if that book or whatever allowed that to happen, where it had captions and things like that. Not always, but the answer is it can, but I can't tell you it always does it, but it can.
Since Amazon is the primary source of electronic books these days with Kindle, it can probably tie to your Kindle account. And instead of the Audible book, which is pre-recorded, Kindle, I know, will talk to you from the text. It's a very mechanical, god-awful voice, but it will do that. And yes, and you can, by the way, adjust the speech speed.
Yes. Now it shows my Audible first. We actually have Kindle also, but those, and I could have said Kindle. From my Kindle list, can you read me XYZ book? And if, assuming there's nothing stopping it from having to been converted to Audible, it will read it to you. It's just mind-boggling what this can do. But play with it. If you know somebody that has one, go listen to it and see what's going on. But you saw how many variety of things I use it for, and it really makes my life simpler. Because I find the older I get, the more complicated some things get. But yes, ma'am.
When your home sounds like it's all set up for
It is.
the smart home. Can you hire somebody to do that?
You can. There are people that
Did you
do
do
that.
it yourself?
I did it myself. I did it all myself.
It sounds pretty complicated.
No, it's not actually. You just have to have a plan.
But there are people, there are jobs.
Oh
like-
yeah, there are people you can Google or ask Alexa who in the area can install an Alexa smart home, but there are companies that do that. Now, I want to add one caveat to this. Hopefully everybody can hear me that's on Zoom. In Leisure World, you want to be very careful before you do this. You may have mutual restrictions. Like I went to my mutual and I said, I want to do this because I have cameras all over my house, but I'm not aiming it at somebody else's house. Now they may be in the background, but they're not aimed there. But where I live, I have a court in front of me. I can see that entire parking lot. Behind me is actually Chiswick Court. It's behind me. I can see any car that goes up and down Chiswick Court. Anybody walking, I can see the animals. So but I wanted to make sure from them they didn't have a problem with this. When you come up to my doorbell sees you. When you ring the doorbell, it gets sent me. You popped up on it.
Well, a lot of us live in apartment buildings.
There may be restrictions, and you need to talk to them first. Just but inside, you want to ask them. Can I do this? Now, when they since I've lived here 8 years, I had a new air conditioning system put in, and I asked them when I put it in at my expense. I bought the Nest thermostat. That's what that is. And I said, can I put that in? And I said, can you make it part of the installation? Well, they had to put a new one in anyway. And the guy says, no problem. I'll go ahead and put it in for you. So I changed that over. Now I know I am saving the mutual money because I'm pretty conservative about it. and mine memorizes the stuff. And even if I forget something, it sometimes will remember, or I may be gone and I'll say, oh crap, I wanted to turn the thermostat up to 78. And I don't have to, oh, well, I can't do it. I can tell Alexa to turn it up 78 degrees. Very cool. Or lock my, well, actually, the thing I didn't mention is my door locking. My door locks itself every night at 10:30, whether I remember it or not. So I don't have to say lock my door at night. It locks it for me at 10:30 exactly every day. So again, this is just getting things a little bit easier for you to manage and bringing stuff together. Yes.
Could you have it notify you that someone has come in if they unlock the door?
Yes, actually, there's a camera aimed right at my front door on the inside. And also on the outside, my front door has a camera. My doorbell, when you come up there, it sees you. And then inside my house, it sees you. I have a big, huge patio.
And after hours, you have alerts that say someone is.
Yep,
come.
it knows exactly. You come to the yard. Now I silence it at night usually, but I'm recording it. So I know who was there.
So if you have a fight with your wife,
I'm in trouble.
It's-
Who started it?
recording.
Yeah, it's well, I don't record it every. Yeah, I don't record every room in the house. It's just near the front door, but it'll hear it. It'll hear all the yelling and screaming and the crashing and banging and all that stuff. But yeah, so you want to be cognizant and understand that. I have a sign on the front of my house and all it says my house is being recorded. And most people knows it is. And if it's somebody that doesn't know me, I'll tell them, by the way, you're being recorded in this house. And it's just that level of safety that we wanted to have. And I don't necessarily, there's nothing about living in the leisure world that makes me feel like I have to do that. But I know occasionally they end up looking for somebody or something. I can go back and look and see if that person or whatever, if somebody strange had come that night in my area. If somebody asked me, I'd do that. And it's a pretty big area I'm looking at, but I'm not looking at homes. But it's smart enough. I can go down and read a license plate if I wanted to, but I don't do that. But those are the options you have today. And it's just going to get more and more and more advanced. Any other questions from Zoom or here in the room? Thank you all for coming. I hope this was nice and I tried to make it fun. Anything else?
Thank you.
No others.
Okay. Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
David, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful.
You're welcome. Thank you for attending and enjoy
I
Alexa.
have a couple of chat messages.
Oh, sorry.
Please send the handout to me. We got that. That's from Lee Jones. We have the email. Copies. That's relatively simple.
Who's it?
Good. No problems.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. If anybody has a question, I can hang around a little bit and I'll be more than happy to talk to them.
I guess.
Sure.
Perhaps, well, first of all, the books and music, you can, I have a system, but you can get.
Meeting's over.
And transfer it to your, either,
The player, your
Where is
by
the-
your phone or whatever.
video actually into the system.
Leave the meeting.
Find it and get your book.
Uh-huh.
Or you can do it in the library, the Libby, and Libby, you get it, you can enter, so you have an enormous,
Resources. Yeah, lots of books. Yeah, that's
to the
great.
state within actually the national, so I get a lot of these. But, I heard that it's on your. Tablet
Yes.
that I have, and which is also happens to be Amazon. But my question, I guess, is more in the technical range, is there a term, or is there anybody who can, that you can hire to do this?
Yes.
Not to do everything, just
Yeah.
the hard part.
Well, probably the hardest part for
You know, while it is simple, there's some little idiosyncrasies.
I just have to
Some
type
people
this out.
just have this fear of technology
Relax.
that takes parts of it.
I'm having fun.
You know,
I've had it wrong.
yes, it's a dock. It's the newer generation.
Yeah, I had one of those.
It's about this big round.
Right,
That's
I
a clock,
have-
right? Yeah, they come in gray and black.
And that one is very good. Probably. Well, right now. But I'm having problems keeping the